watch this video, then we'll talk. It's a longer one, but it's not going in the direction that you might think that it's going. But we need to have a discussion.
Today has just been one of the most emotionally, freaking roller coaster up and down. I was supposed to have a full hysterectomy tomorrow, taking out the uterus, the fallopian tubes, and my cervix. I have been so anxious about this surgery, and I've had no support from my husband. He hasn't gone to a single doctor's appointment with me. When I try to talk about the surgery with him, he either just literally walks away from me or just says yeah, I can tell you're nervous. Thanks. That's so helpful. So I've just been secretly having anxiety attacks and stressing out about this surgery for the last, let me think, May I was told I would have to have surgery, so 5 months. And today my husband sends me text messages saying, hey, I'm gonna come home early today. There's a situation I have to talk to you about. I say, what's going on? What situation? What's happening? And he goes, I'll talk to you about it when I come home. I don't want to tell you about it over text. So instantly my hands start shaking. I'm freaking out, wondering what's going on. Our marriage has been in a really rough spot. I actually went and saw a divorce attorney because it's that fucking bad. And he won't tell me what's going on through text message. So I'm just freaking out, thinking he's going to come home and say yeah, he wants a divorce now too. Or, who knows? I've just what have I done now that has made him mad? Basically is what was going through my mind. What am I going to be punished for now? So he comes home while I'm in the middle of making our kids lunch, because we have 3 kids, a 6-year-old and then 4.5-year-old twins. And they're on fall break right now. So everyone's home with me. And I'm making lunch and he comes home. I put a movie on for the kids and sit them down at the kitchen table with sandwiches, everything. And my husband and I go into our master bedroom to have a conversation about whatever this situation is that I'm having a mental breakdown over. And he starts off by saying, this is 100% my fault. I take full accountability. I know that it's my fault. And I'm oh my God, can you please just tell me what's going on? I'm already stressed out about having surgery tomorrow. Oh, and this is the other thing to add on to it. I'm first on the schedule, so it's a 7:30 a.m. appointment. I called and told him, hey, they said my check-in time is at 5:30 a.m. And he goes, oh, then I won't be able to take you. What? Who's gonna take me? And he goes, you're just gonna have to take yourself. Sir? I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to drive yourself when you're having massive surgery. A hysterectomy is not a fucking walk in the park. That's a pretty big surgery, right? But sure, I'll take myself. So I went on the Nextdoor app and reached out to the neighbors, the neighborhood, saying, hey, is anyone free to take me to my surgery very early in the morning on Friday? I would have to leave my house by 4:50 a.m. to get there on time for my check-in. And a very kind neighbor who I've never met before was I'll do it. I'm happy to do it. Can I bring my dog? Do you mind? And I was no way. Yeah, bring the dog. Party. Let's go. So this kind neighbor has agreed to take me to my surgery tomorrow morning, and I'm so grateful to her. So back to the conversation in the master bedroom. He's saying, I take full accountability. This is 100% my fault. I'm like, what the hell could possibly, what is he talking about? And he finally goes, our health insurance was canceled today. What? He hasn't paid our health insurance for several months, and today, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona retroactively canceled our health insurance plan all the way back to August. Been between the months of August and September, I have had many doctor's appointments. I've had MRIs. I've had ultrasounds for leading up to this surgery. I'm supposed to have spine surgery in December. Guess that won't be happening anymore. But yeah, he never said I'm sorry. Said, you're going to have to call your doctor's office and see if we can reschedule your surgery. See if maybe like they have like a payment plan or something. And I just sat there and stared at the carpet. I might have fucking cancer growing in my uterus, but him going on a fantasy football draft trip in August, didn't seem to impede his ability to pay for that. Putting new trucks on his tire didn't seem to have any financial problems affording that. Going to Washington, D.C. for a conference and staying a few extra days with his brother didn't seem to have any issue affording that. But paying for your family's health insurance, the health insurance that covers your 3 small children, couldn't pay for that. Your wife, who has had, 15 different surgeries in her life, who has medical issue after medical issue and needs to have health insurance, couldn't pay for that. I am at such a loss of what to do and what to say at this point. I feel like I'm stuck on a island by myself, and I'm just being jerked around by my husband emotionally, like on a daily basis. I am so fucking over it. But guess I won't be having surgery, because right before I recorded this, I got a call from the surgery center saying, yeah, we just ran your insurance and it's coming back ineligible. We can't perform your surgery tomorrow. Do you have new health insurance? Like, what's going on? We weren't aware that you were going to have new insurance right before your surgery. And I was honest with her and said, yeah, I wasn't aware either. My husband came home and told me he didn't pay the health insurance and that it got canceled. I'm just as surprised as you are. But my older sister today, when I called her having a panic attack, hoping for like maybe some words of encouragement or just like sympathy, she told me, you have to stop being the victim, Annalise, and then hung up on me. So I'm really striking out with my family right now. Thanks, guys.
Now, I've said multiple times on this platform that getting with the wrong man can ruin your life. Now, I used more specifically an example from the most recent season of Love Island tagged up here. But this is taking the conversation in there and bringing it not just to the day-to-day, but to life or death. These men, period. But more specifically, a lot of these men that people are reproducing with, marrying, making long-term decisions with, do not have the capability. Let me rephrase. They have the capability, because it's not like as a human you don't have that capability, but they lack the skills and they lack the willingness to garner the skills needed to care about what Shayna care about you. Care about other people other than themselves. Yes, that also includes those kids that you almost died to have. Empathy is a skill. Communication is a skill. Compassion is a skill. What else is a skill that's in here? Oh, being able to be a good partner, a good friend, a good community member is a skill. They don't have the skills. Now, I don't know what this lady is going to do. I really hope that she ends up okay. I really hope that it's not cancer. I really hope that she would be able to get her back looked at also. Nobody knows. She doesn't know. I really hope that nothing happens to her kids who now don't have health insurance because dad wanted to go play fantasy football. I also really hope that she has a discussion with her kids because guess what? It's not the dad's actions are not just affecting her day-to-day life. Her kids have been ingesting this in a similar way that she has for their entire lives. They see that dad quite literally could not care less if mom lives or dies. That's their house. That's their home. That's what they've been taught that home is. So either they're going to follow in dad's footsteps, generally depending on the gender of the kid, but that's not always the case, or follow in mom's footsteps. Once again, generally depending on the gender, like a lot of times little like boys or like masculine presenting kids follow dad, girls, female presenting kids follow mom, but hey, it doesn't always work like that. Either way, there are two tracks that those kids have been taught are normal. Being okay with your partner dying and prioritizing self, it's giving narcissistic behavior, or shutting up and probably dying and crying in private and having panic attack. Oh, I don't know if she knows this, but those kids probably have clocked, especially if they're like old enough to, have words and talk. And they probably have clocked that mom has been crumbling. And a lot of people say, oh, well, divorce is hard. And all of this, like, I don't know, like, I might not be able to. I'm not saying that it's easy. But I am saying that the person that you share a bed with is okay with you dying. Dare I say, is going out of his way to make sure that you die. And with what's going on with this current administration, are you sure that you want to be legally bound with? You want your basic human rights. Hear me. Your basic human rights attached to somebody that is soups cool with you dead, with your kids dead, because he wanted to go play fantasy football. Are you sure that you want your basic human rights, your ability to get a passport, your ability to travel, your ability to probably own a bank account again? Yeah, all these things are circling back. I've made videos about this. If I find them, I'll tag them up in the corner. But are you sure you want those basic human rights attached to somebody that really could not care if you died today? Not tomorrow, today. Because while her situation is her situation, there are elements of that situation that resonate across countless households right now. Now, it also sounds to me like, just bringing what she said about the sister at the very end of this, that this lady might be repeating family patterns. She might have found this terrible man because her brain was recreating the patterns of what she knew from her childhood, from what she knew from home. Because it sounds like even the sister does not have the ability to empathize with her sister. I don't know, older or younger. But Speaker's sister doesn't have the ability, the skill set to empathize with the fact that, oh, I could have cancer and my husband essentially canceled our health insurance. This is what it looks like. This is the future that she's looking directly at her kids' future. She is living her kids' future. I mean this with all of the love and respect in the world for the creator and for y'all out there that are living through something similar. If y'all have not addressed your you're deep rooted, if y'all have not gone excavating, those spelunkers? Those spelunkers that tend to be white people that just die in caves? If you have not spelunked the depths of your trauma, especially as it relates to your household, your family, your upbringing. I'm talking fourth house for all you astrology folks. If y'all have not if y'all have not spelunked that, everything that is festering in those caves will become the home of your children. Most people don't want to do that work. And hey, listen, that's fine. I don't like spelunking, but I do love diving in the depths of my brain. For better or worse, I don't know what that says about me. But I bring this up to say that when I say most people should not have kids, I mean most people should not have kids. Also, and I keep forgetting to say this earlier, hi, for those of you who are new here, my name is Shayna. I'm a journalist, and on this platform, I talk a lot about decentering men and child-free living. If any of that sounds like a vibe, please like, share, subscribe. I also co-founded a platform on Substack called Black Babes Abroad that helps marginalized women and femmes immigrate. I've immigrated to multiple countries. The co-founder has immigrated to multiple countries. There's a lot of really scary stuff happening in the world right now, as I touched upon earlier in this video. And if you would like information about how to get from a terrible point A to a point B, we're sharing a whole lot of information on there. Link is in the description. There's also a free checklist in the description for the 10 things that you need to basically go from, oh, I'm thinking about moving abroad, to booking your flight. Now, living abroad is a completely other conversation. That is a completely different conversation, which will be discussed at some point. But if you need resources, please, there's so many free resources. Now, I've been saying this a lot on this platform, but if you're in the United States more critically than other countries, even though this is not U.S. specific, you are living in the fall of an empire. You are living in Mount Vesuvius has already erupted. It's not about the warning signs. It has erupted. It's not just racing down the hill. Some villages are already gone. Do you want your emergency buddy to not care if you live or die? That's the kind of questions that we need to be asking about partnership. Not even just because this is what is currently happening, but this is the kind of stuff that people have always needed to ask themselves as it relates to partnership. Being lonely, being horny is not enough. It has never been enough. Your family, your parents, or whoever saying, oh, well, you should really get married, is not enough. The amount of women that I know personally who are interested in moving out of the country, whatever country that they are based in, but largely in the United States, but can't because there is a man holding them back, the true ball and chain, sinking them into the ocean when they have the full capability of being an Olympic swimmer. This is how we need to start thinking about these things. So please have these conversations, if not externally, internally, and start spelunking, folks. Stay safe out there.